To no surprise at all, Gavin Newsom wins re-election in California. I'm so proud of all the people who voted for him. Thank you to all the people in California who voted for him, who supported him, who endorsed him and donated to him. I'm pretty sure we all knew that that was going to happen. And why do I say this? Well, let's look at some of the things here. Now, let's keep in mind, remember, he had a recall election in 2021. And you had a lot of conservatives getting hyped up. Oh, yeah, we're going to beat him out. We're going to beat him out. We're going to get... Okay, but then every person who ran against him in that race was losing in the polls by 20 to 25 percentage points. How's that beating him? Larry Elder, who was the final opponent against him, he was the last remaining contender. Now, not only was he endorsed by Trump and McConnell, he was also, first of all, this guy was suggesting that we should make it so that employers can ask women in the workplace when they plan on getting pregnant. And he was also speaking against the policy of Gavin Newsom providing proper protection equipment for kids in schools and sending meals to the elderly. When he sent the 3 meals a day to elderly in the homes. First of all, how can you logically argue against that? What does that do? What is that doing to hurt anybody? The kids wear a mask in schools and whatnot. A lot of them were choosing to do, they wanted to do that anyway. He was providing them. He didn't say, every kid in school has to wear a mask. He was providing it. It was optional. And they chose to wear it because they didn't want to risk getting the virus or risk getting. So again, let's look at some of the other things. In the last couple months, he sent out a $1,000 stimulus check to his citizens of the state, which I believe I think that mostly went to a lot of that went to like working class, elderly, and poor. I don't know if that went to every single person, but nonetheless, it was still good. And I'm sure it helped those that received it. And last year, he gave a stimulus check of $600 on top of the federal money that they got. So we had 3 stimulus checks that came from the federal government. So we had $1,200, $600, and $1,400, which totaled that to be $3,200. And that was good. So he's done that. He also gave $22 an hour minimum wage to fast food and restaurant workers. I thought that was a huge one. He lowered the Medicare age to 50. So they have their Medicare out there, which they call Medi-Cal. Just like remember how Massachusetts had Mass Health under Mitt Romney. And then he also signed a thing where he expanded access to healthcare in California, and almost 300,000 undocumented people got healthcare out there. So he did that. And here's what he did regarding homelessness. This was August of 2022. In Los Angeles, Governor Gavin Newsom announces $694 million in home key awards to create more than 2,500 new homeless housing units statewide. Now, he said, in total, including today's announcement, California's nation-leading home key program has funded more than 200 projects statewide, creating more than 12,500 permanent and interim homes for people exiting homelessness. The governor said, with almost 3,000 new homes funded in just 2 years, Home Key is changing lives across the state. Home Key's groundbreaking success is a model for the nation, showing that we can make real progress on ending homelessness in months, not years. In partnership with cities and counties like Los Angeles, we'll continue to safely house Californians in need faster and more cost effectively than ever. Now, look at all those things that he's done right there. Now, is he perfect? No. There are some things that didn't necessarily fall back on him. I mean, like I said, it was supposed to be Medicare for all, but at least he lowered the age, which was better than nothing. Now, check it out. I remember when Larry Elder was running against Gavin Newsom in California. Do you know what he said? And do you know what a lot of conservatives and Republicans said? They said if he wins, it's because that he and Biden and Harris and top Democrat officials, they were conspiring with Pelosi and House Democrats to cheat. You're telling me, when you do good things for people to help to materially improve their lives, whether it be temporary or in the long run, or whether it's a long term, when you do something good for people and people like you in return, you're saying that that's cheating? That's a cheat? Are you going to go to the voters who voted for him and say, hey, you guys are cheating? Why? Because I went to the polls and voted for him? That's not cheat. So when you listen, lowering the Medicare age, raising the minimum wage for restaurant workers, giving out stimulus checks. What logical, reasonable argument can you provide that goes against that? Whose life got worse as a result of those things? Like, who is suffering as a result of that? Whose life got more negative? I don't understand. How can you argue against this guy? This guy is crushing it. He's a champion. There's a reason why his numbers are going up and up and up. Just a few months ago, his average approval rating was between like 53 to 56%. And his highest recorded number in the last month was 61 as a result of doing those things. Democrats need to take a note. I would say Republicans take a note, but I don't know how long I've been saying that one. And of course, they'll never take any note. You know, you can barely get a Republican to vote for a minimum wage increase of a penny, let alone what he did. You know, and people are saying California's in danger. It's terrible. It is in bad shape, and he's messed up the whole state. And the people of California are saying, at least 80% of Californians are saying, no, actually, everything's just fine. There's nothing wrong here. Everything's good. I mean, kids and people in many families have proper protection equipment. The elderly are getting their meals. People got stimulus checks so they can help to get money to pay their bills, so they can feed their kids and pay DTE and pay water and pay gas and lights, whatever. Their car notes so they can pay rents and mortgages. He's helping getting more and more homeless people off the street. More people have access to Medicare out there. Who can logically, I don't care what conservative you get, a Larry Elder, a Ben Shapiro, a Candace Owens, a Brandon Tatum, anybody on Fox News, Newsmax, who can logically argue against that? Why is that bad? So maybe that's why he's crushing it. His opponent was only at 31%. Gavin was his opponent, a Republican by the name of Brian Dahl, who polled at 31%, while Gavin Newsom was polling at 61%. He crushed him in the polls by 30 points. And of course, he beat him in the vote by over 1 million and some odd number of votes. The Republican got over 3 million, while he got over 4 million. And it's like, I'll tell you right now, I don't know if Biden and Harris are for sure going to run in 2024, but if they do not, he is up for consideration. I'll tell you right now, Gavin Newsom, he would definitely be one of my first few choices. I know it's still a little bit early to speculate on who all is running and who I for sure am going to pick, but I'll tell you right now, this guy's a champion, and he's definitely one of the leading figures of the future of the Democratic Party and also helping to improve the country. Democrats better take a note from this guy. They really, really better take a note. So again, congratulations to California. You've done so well. You know, I'm so proud of my friends and allies and teammates and people who are activists and organizers and officials and candidates out there who've done such an amazing job. Annalisa Swan, Christy Smith, many others out there. So California, you keep doing it. Gavin Newsom is a champion. I'm so glad that you have him, and I know you're proud to have him, and I know he continues to treat the state well. California, keep doing it.